Well, thank you for joining us, everyone, and for all the people who asked for the recording. We're going to get started.
Yeah. So in general, we get a lot of questions about microneedling and some really common ones where people are at. And of course, people are in different stages of bringing this into their acupuncture practice. But some of these are you ready to offer microneedling in a holistic, non-invasive, and effective way for your patients, but you don't know where to start? That's a really common one that we get. Have you taken previous microneedling courses, but still feel like you're missing information and hands-on experience to feel confidence practicing microneedling? And you want to make sure that you can do this in a confident way and yield wonderful but safe results for your patients? Or are you concerned about spending money on a microneedling device that isn't high quality? It's not easy to use, or you're not sure if it is, and it's just a device that really inspires trust when offering the best benefits for your client, both results and comfort.
hmm Yeah, and those questions remind me of many of our students. Uh, One in particular, uh, in Minnesota, she's been in practice for a long time, and she'd taken several other microneedling courses, and she still left feeling really intimidated and actually kind of scared that she would hurt someone with microneedling and that she would damage her skin. She purchased also some sliding devices. But then after taking our seminar, and she actually did a combo of our online and in-person, like in-person practice session, and then purchasing a ProCell device, uh, she finally feels confident to fully bring microneedling into her practice. And she's just thrilled by the experience that her patients are having with it and the results that they're experiencing. And so she's not alone. That's a really common story.
Mhm.
And it actually kind of fuels us as teachers to keep bringing our comprehensive course to acupuncturists and other skincare professionals.
There's a lot to learn as far as bringing microneedling in. There's the technique itself, but really there's just so much when you're bringing a new modality into your practice. And Diane and I, when we first did it, spent a lot of time trying to kind of navigate the whole world of microneedling in that whole situation. And this is really an opportunity for us to share and to help pave the road for others.
Mm.
So I'm Amelia Vargas. I actually knew at a young age that I wanted to become an acupuncturist. I grew up in a town where I was exposed to a lot of holistic modalities and medicine. And I was like 13 when I had that in mind. What I didn't know is that I would come across becoming an esthetician. And I went into esthetician school before starting acupuncture school to be doing something hands-on with clients. And I had no idea that I would find a passion and love the world of these two together so much. And that led me to study facial acupuncture with Virginia Duran and Mary Elizabeth Wakefield. And then in 2015, I discovered microneedling. Along with Diana, we developed a holistic integrative microneedling protocol that we now teach to others.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm Diana Horowitz. I'm an acupuncturist in Denver, Colorado. And I've been drawn to cultivating holistic beauty or beauty that comes from balance and inner health ever since becoming an acupuncturist in 2003. I had two influential mentors, the late Doc Ron Rosen, and now Mary Elizabeth Wakefield, who I started working with in 2007, and then later became a teacher of the foundations of her facial renewal acupuncture work. And so just to get back to the story of how we got to this, in 2015, I was working at a spa, excuse me, and the head of the spa brought in a microneedling device for the estheticians, and I thought, microneedling. Oh, okay. I think I better check this out. So, and then when I saw the demonstration of this motorized device, I thought, wow, that is a really powerful form of acupuncture. And I grew up in New York City, which is kind of a very results driven and young kind of town. And so I was really drawn to the motorized microneedling as a really powerful and effective and quick approach to skincare, and results driven. But as an acupuncturist, I also love bringing that nurturing and restful and yin grounding qualities of acupuncture and tuning fork vibrational therapy to my patients as well, because I really feel like we need that. We need that balance in the world. Um, and so when I went back to 2015, when I found out that Amelia was also learning about microneedling from the same device rep, and then we decided to get together and start experimenting with combining microneedling and Chinese medicine, and we did that for like a year,
Yeah.
uh, while also then realizing, this is too good to not share with the larger community. And so then we started to develop our seminars, and we co-founded East West Microneedling, and then we started, then we became involved in our community to help with getting it microneedling recognized and kind of as something that acupuncturists can practice in Colorado. With the We became co-chairs of the microneedling committee for the Acupuncture Association of Colorado. And so both Amelia and I, we just love how beauty can be a gateway to health. And we're so excited to teach this technique to holistic practitioners. It's been a minute, right, Amelia?
It has.
2016.
Yeah.
And we both still get such enjoyment from the teaching process, from sharing both the intellectual and the hands-on practical skill building aspects of learning, and also with helping our students, and these other practitioners for their businesses to thrive.
Yeah. So we can go back just a little bit, and there's an assumption that we know that everyone, or that we assume everyone knows what microneedling is, but just to clarify, so microneedling is a cosmetic treatment to boost collagen. It utilizes either a motorized or a manual device that has tiny little needles, and as you're stamping the skin or it's penetrating the skin, creating little perforations. And those tiny micro injuries are creating collagen, creating a healing response, and ultimately creating healthier, more vibrant skin. Now, integrative microneedling is the protocol that Diana and I have created that weaves together acupuncture, Chinese medicine, Eastern philosophies with Western philosophies. It's been a big deal for us to really bridge the two and to be able to see this, what has gotten evolved into a Western modality, to really see all of the aspects of how its roots are in Chinese medicine, in plum blossom. And we've done a lot of beautiful other modalities with it. Like, we'll get into it a little more later, but acutonics with acupuncture and some different things there. So adding microneedling to an acupuncture practice yields a lot of benefits. To go over just a few, there's certainly, this is a lucrative treatment. It tends to be a higher price point in general within the cosmetic industry. It's like anywhere from people charging anywhere from $250 to $650 per session. And of course, that depends on where you're practicing and the location. Whether fortunately or unfortunately, people often prioritize beauty over health. And what we have found with microneedling is that this is a really beautiful opportunity to open the gates for both. So it attracts clients to come in for a beauty treatment, but we're doing this in a holistic way to where they're experiencing health benefits and whole body holistic benefits. And they really start to value that the same, if not more, in that experience. So it's a really wonderful way to bring clients into the door that maybe were originally seeking a beauty treatment. The other thing too is that this is a very well marketed mainstream treatment. And a lot of times for acupuncturists, it can be hard, like bringing in cosmetic acupuncture or facial acupuncture, or trying to compete with the aesthetic world that has a ton of money, research, marketing, voice. It's hard for us to get that education out there from the acupuncture perspective. And microneedling is a beautiful way to, whether you pair it with facial acupuncture, whether you pair it with regular acupuncture, or you're bringing it in, it's a beautiful way to tap into that marketing and research and that whole cosmetic world, and to actually compete a little bit more and have it be cutting edge. There's some interesting little, like, so the aesthetic industry, first of all, it's huge, but it's expected to surpass 120 billion in 2025. So that's like how big we're talking here. As far as microneedling goes, this isn't just a trend. This is here to stay. I mean, it's been around for a long time. It's had its evolution. We get into all of that, but it's a treatment that people are seeing a lot of value in. And so there's, like, we were looking up marketing research, and the global microneedling market is projected to flourish at a healthy CAGR of 7.8% from 2021 to 2031. So as per the report published by TMR, it's a valuation of $1.1 billion is anticipated in this particular market by 2031. So this is projected to just continue to grow. What we find is that acupuncturists, first of all, we're needling experts. We really know how to treat the whole body and treat holistically. And bridging these together with microneedling, we're really good at it. This is a really, like, come easy treatment to us, and that we can practice this and do a really beautiful job. I have a client who came into me, and she had experienced microneedling. She was going to a dermatologist getting microneedling, and then something happened to their device, and so she ended up getting RF microneedling. And so she'd had all this experience, and she came into me for a different treatment of sorts. And as we started talking about it and we got into the holistic way of doing microneedling, she was so intrigued and so excited to have found me, and that she could address all of it at once. And it was like a no-brainer to her to come in to me to get microneedling. And I hear that time and time again from my clients of course I'm going to get microneedling from you and you only. You're an acupuncturist and you know this stuff. So it gives us an edge.
Yeah. So we, when promoting this webinar, we promised we'd give you some essential steps to how to seamlessly integrate microneedling into your acupuncture practice and increase your revenue streams. And here they are. So first, you want to check out the legal and insurance parameters for practicing microneedling in your area. And I have to say, since 2016, when we started, that has gotten better and better for acupuncturists. It's becoming a very accepted form or modality within our practice that's covered. And then you want to choose a microneedling certification course. Researching microneedling in all aspects of it. But regardless, you want to have confidence in bringing microneedling into your practice, and you want to feel like fully educated and competent and ready on all fronts. Then you want to decide on what kind of device are you going to purchase, and you're going to want to know about the different types of microneedling devices before making an investment. You'll want to decide on skincare products that you're going to use with microneedling, like what is safe, what is actually contraindicated. And then also, are you going to retail the products or just use them in the treatments? You want your supply list, and you want to know all about all the supplies involved. And that can be less or more depending upon what you want to do. You want to decide on the treatment and package combos that you're going to offer with microneedling, and also like what to charge, right? And we go over all of this information in our course. You'll want to create and update consent and intake forms to include microneedling, and you'll want advice and on how to market, how to get going, and how to keep your patients coming back for more. And so in our seminar, we go into depth about all the above.
Diana, I'm not sure if you froze during number 2 with the microneedling certification or if it was mine, but would you mind repeating that
Oh,
distinction?
sure.
Yeah.
You want to choose a microneedling certification course, and either do take a course or plan to set aside lots of time to research. And that is, and you'll find a lot of kind of conflicting information out there still on some of the finer points at least. So you want to have, whatever you do, you want to have confidence in the decision you make so that you can move forward.
Yeah. So big topic is device. We get this a lot. And this is a really, like, when you're researching and trying to figure out selecting a device, there's a lot of considerations to think about. You need it to match up your practice. You need to make sure that it's going to fit for your investment, what you want to offer, and align, in our opinion, align with Chinese medicine. So one thing to consider is mechanism of action. Some devices are the pen device, and then there's some that are stamping devices. So the pen usually is going to be a sliding device, and what it looks like is that you're holding a pen and it's going to be sliding around the skin. And then the needles automatically oscillate and stamp into the skin while you're sliding, creating those perforations. Usually that's used with some kind of a product for slip and having the slide easily. Then there's the stamping motion, which is going to be that you're manually stamping the device and creating those channels manually and physically versus having it oscillate automatically. So one of the risks, yes.
Amelia, do you happen to have your device handy?
I do. I was going to show it.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry.
No, that's okay. So this is an example of a stamping device. The needle tip goes into this end here, and then you hold it as such, and then you turn it on. You may or may not hear that. And then you're going to stamp it along the way. So we dive in pretty deep into our course as far as like offering a full comparison on different types of devices. But the mechanism is something that's really important to consider. And one of the risks of the automatically oscillating pens, and there's different variations to this as well, but if you're sliding and it's automatically oscillating, there can be a risk of tearing the skin or damaging the skin. So it's really important to look at that component when you stamp, or like with this is the ProCell device. This is like a microchanneling, is how they call it. The big difference is that mechanism between microchanneling and microneedling. And so we had a question earlier about the difference between the two with microchanneling and microneedling. And they've kind of coined the term microchanneling to differentiate this mechanism. And the whole advantage of this is that it causes less, because of the less tearing, it's also less inflammation. And so the recovery time is also less. We have found that this is very similar to the philosophy of plum blossom or 7-star hammer with that particular technique of stamping. Other things to consider in general with a device is, what is their warranty? Some device companies have a lifetime warranty, and some don't. Some have a year or a couple years. And then what's covered under the warranty is something to look at as well. So of course, we're biased with ProCell, but part of it is because we've done so much research with different devices and tried out other devices. And we have really loved their lifetime warranty, and that if something happens, that they also send out a loaner or do what they need to do to support your business in continuing to run as they may be either fixing it or replacing a device for you. Another consideration with devices is motor quality. So of course you have a whole range of qualities with devices. You can find devices on Amazon that are very inexpensive, and then you can find other devices, and expense versus also where these motors are made. So something to consider, the ProCell device is made with a motor from Germany, and then is distributed it within, it's the motor itself is made in Germany, but then it's put together in the US. And they've really put a lot of energy into creating a system so that you don't have to worry about things like other things to listen to of like backflow. So with sliding devices, you have to be careful with a backflow or contamination. A lot of those devices have like locking systems to protect that. Then when you look at devices, you need to think about the associated products. So there's going to be, depending on the device, there may be different products that go along with it. We get into a lot of these details as we compare devices in our course. Yeah, and in particular, this device, the ProCell device, has won many awards within the aesthetic industry. They've been #1 for 6 years in a row with the Dermoscope magazine, and I think another award as well, which I don't remember at the moment. So looking at different qualities. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the founder of ProCell Therapies was featured on the cover of Dermoscope magazine last month. Yeah.
They offer a lot of education and workshops and information as well that are interesting too.
Yeah, so
yeah.
oh, sorry, please continue.
No, I was going to say that we can get into a little bit about our course description and the information that we include within our microneedling course, within our integrated microneedling. So kind of just in a nutshell, we get into, so we really like to get into the history and the philosophy of microneedling, and not just from a Western perspective, but also from an Eastern perspective. And so you'll learn about the development of this and its roots in Chinese medicine.
And we'll get into the benefits and contraindications. So, how microneedling can help your patients with various skincare issues, as well as when it should be avoided. And also about the constitutional benefits that aren't really recognized by the Western approach to microneedling.
We'll cover how aesthetic treatments, like how they all interface. So things like laser, Botox, peels, how they interface with microneedling and the guidelines around that. We also cover skincare products and what are the best ones to use, what are the best ones to avoid. This is an area that I am very passionate about, with both being an esthetician and an acupuncturist. I've spent over 20 years as an esthetician and really like playing with different types of products. And I am such an advocate of natural and organic and clean products. And we help to differentiate and kind of filter out a lot of these buzzwords within that industry.
And then we teach, really step by step, the integrative microneedling protocol that we created. And we give our students lots and lots of practice time, because that's what we all need, right? Like, so I know how to incorporate these facial tools and esthetician tricks, like how do you wrap a towel around a patient's face, right? It's a little, it takes more skill than you might know. And then, and then we also play with all these yummy products from our sponsors and we teach our patients our students how to use jade rollers, jade mushrooms, facial gua sha tools, and facial cupping. And then also our students both give and receive a really luscious and high price point treatment during the seminar. And so that just really helps to build confidence in performing this treatment safely and effectively and really skillfully. And that's what will help your patients want to come back for more. We also give out really detailed handouts so that you can remember after you've left the seminar how to do everything.
It's such a bonus to experience the microneedling and both doing it and receiving it. It makes such a big difference. So as I mentioned before, we will get into a full comparison on the motorized devices and what's out there and the pros and cons to each one.
Mm-hmm. We cover patient expectations, like, because patients really want and need to know, like, how does it feel? Is there any downtime? And how should I prepare for microneedling and how should I treat myself after microneedling? Whether before and after pictures are worth it, marketing wise. Um, and we just want, and we also give our students lots of like a little exercise so they can feel really confident about talking about microneedling with their prospective patients. We talk about legalities, insurance, and scope of practice, what our story is from Colorado, but also wherever it's relevant to the practitioners in the class, and malpractice coverage, and consent forms. Basically, we've designed it to be like a one-stop shop, so it's everything that you need to get started, the Monday after, with gathering everything together and getting going within, I'd say, about 2 weeks. We have a business forum, and I'm a solo practitioner. Amelia helps to manage a busy spa in Boulder, Colorado. And so we talk about our experience with marketing, but also, we do also do research on what is trending and what is the best way to go about things now. And we want to give our students ultimately just confidence in how to price and market and launch microneedling into their practices right away. Oh, Amelia, you
Sorry, I
are
muted myself.
muted. Okay.
We're gonna show you just a little video that the spa that I work at created from our protocol, a little marketing like 1 minute video that they posted. And it also gives you a visual of what this treatment looks like from start to finish in fast forward. Okay, let me share my screen.
So yes, we definitely want to do grounding and a whole body acupuncture, tuning fork vibrational therapy. Here we're starting to cleanse. This is one of the serums that we use in in the classes, jade rolling. And Amelia is applying a growth factor serum that is part of ProCell's microchanneling system. More luscious facial oils. And here in Colorado, we really need a lot of hydration and oils because it's very dry here. And then we typically end with more grounding and more
Okay, not tomorrow, not next week.
Okay, good.
So, so yes, we are so excited to come to Berkeley, California on November 9th and 10th. It's our last seminar of 2024. It gives 14 CEUs and 16 California CEs. We taught there last year and found it to be a fantastic group of practitioners and school, and we're really happy to be returning there.
Yeah.
And what we'd like to offer to people who are both on this webinar now and the people who asked for the recording is we'll give you a free, like very luscious facial product at the seminar as a thank you for listening to this talk. So we're going to put, or I'm going to put the link for how to enroll in the chat. And I want to, wait, I'm not seeing where the chat is actually. It's not coming up. Do you
Just
mind?
hover. Oh, yeah, I can do it.
Thank you. But at any rate, registration closes on November 1st. And yes, and please do also tell your friends and invite your friends to join us because we, as you can tell, love what we do and would love to share with you everything that we've learned about microneedling. So thank you so much for joining us. And I'm going to say goodbye and we will see you in California.
Thank
Bye.
you.